Alrighty, hey everyone, welcome back. Happy Sunday night. So hopefully you guys had a great weekend. You were able to spend time with the family, go outside, touch some grass, right? Relax, have a great weekend. But we're gonna get into it here today with, we have the Fed coming up with the rate cuts this week. What is that gonna mean for Bitcoin and Bitcoin miners? I think it's gonna be positive. I do. I could be wrong on that. I think we might have a day or two we're down after the news comes out, but after that, I think we're gonna be going up much higher. We'll also take a look at the miners, how they did against Bitcoin last week. And we got really right now, Bitfarms is rocketing pre-market hours right now. It's up 20 some odd percent over right now. So we'll get into that. We'll get into Q&A as always, and then we'll talk about anything else that pops up after that. In the meantime, not financial advice for entertainment only. Do your own research. For disclosure, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. And let's take a look at what's going on here with Bitcoin right now in, on the new day for Monday at least. Over the weekend, it was actually down, trading downwards, which was, I'm okay with that. Didn't go down too much. We were down a little bit on Saturday. We were down 0.12%. We were down 0.56% on Sunday, and we're up a little bit here on the new day, 0.14. For Monday, rate cuts are happening, I believe, Wednesday. Correct me if I'm wrong there. I believe it's Wednesday that's going to happen there. We're basing that to be 25 basis point cut here. I will be surprised and actually shocked if we get 50 basis points, but we'll see on Wednesday. That should help out. If that's the case, that we do have rate cuts here this week, I think next month we'll have rate cuts as well, and then possibly December. So possibly 2 more rate cuts after this. This should all be helping not only Bitcoin, but Bitcoin miners move up in price, as well as risk on assets tend to do well in those environments. Okay, miners here. Obviously, they had a great week last week. We'll talk about that here in a second here, but we'll take a look at what the miners are doing right now in the pre-market hours. And a lot of them are actually pumping her quite nicely here. So BitTier is up 2.17% pre-market. Bitfarms is up 23%. This thing has been on a nice roll here. It was up over 60% last week. So it's adding some more to those gains, and I think it's finally getting some love there for the sites that do have that could be used for HPCI potential. So that's awesome to see there. I'm happy with that. I'm sure you guys are as well. Cypher's up a little bit, 0.09% pre-market. Cleanspark is actually down 0.68% right now. It was up just a little bit here a second ago, but it's down now. CORZ is up just a little bit, 0.25. Hive is also doing pretty good. It's up 7.61%. That one has had a nice run up here this past week also. HUT8 is actually down 1.88%. IREN is up another 3.59%. It's at $35.18. This thing has been a rocket. Love seeing that. Mara is down 0.12%. Riot is down 0.31%. And TerraWolf is up just a little bit, 0.46 pre-market hours right now. So it should be a fun start to the week. We'll see how we do tomorrow when the markets do actually open up, and we'll see where all these guys are at that point, where Bitcoin's at also. But right now, we can see that Bitcoin is up 6.2% on September so far, which is not too bad here. It's actually doing pretty good, better than what we saw obviously in August here, but we'll see if this can maintain. And then for Friday, we had obviously a lot more inflows here. We've had now 5 days of inflows for Bitcoin ETFs, with Friday being a pretty good one there, being up 642 million. And BlackRock bought in 264.3 million after they bought in 366.2 million. So that's great to see there as well. And the Fed watch here for this week is saying 96.4%. I believe we're going to get a 25 basis point cut there happening. So that's pretty much priced in right now, I think. Well, maybe not priced in, but I would say it's partially priced in. I think the October rate cuts and the December are not priced in yet, and that's what's going to pump us up higher in price for Bitcoin and possibly the Bitcoin miners as well. All right, one other update here that we do have is on this map here for all of the sites. I've been adding a bunch of sites to this map here that is available to my Patreon members. It's link for that is down in the description. But I added HUT8 here over the weekend and all of their sites. They do have a lot of sites there. We added those in along with the ones that are projected to be added in that are in development. And then we also added some other facilities as well. Galaxy, Helios facility, Applied, Digihost facilities that they do have, and Nibius as well, New Jersey facility that they have there. So those are all on the map now. If you guys have any other ones that you want me to add to the list, let me know and I will add them to it. But it's kind of nice to take a look at on the map at least and see where all of these facilities are at. And we definitely see a pretty sizable concentration here in Texas, obviously. A little bit more in the southeast, I guess you could say, North Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, all that. And we do have quite a bit around the northeast as well, right? Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York as well, and then towards into Canada as well. So that all information is available to the Patreon members there. All right, that is it on that part of it. Going down here to the Bitcoin miners here for the past week, how did we do? And how did Bitcoin do? Well, the first chart that we look at is how far the miners are up from their 52-week lows, right, in the past year, and how far away are they from their 52-week highs. So the top chart shows us how high the miners are up from their 52-week lows. We can see IREN's up huge, 562% this year, basically, from its bottom. Cypher's up 483%. Kango's up 213%. Hive is up 202%. This one used to be all the way back here next to Marathon and Cleanspark. But that one has done really good here recently. Strategy is up 157%. Riot's up 156%. Core up 155%. BitTF up 154%. And Bitcoin's only up 101%. So all these guys here are outperforming Bitcoin. With the laggards here being Marathon and Cleanspark, the two, for the most part, pure play Bitcoin miners. Everybody else is getting into HPCI one way or another here, except for these guys at least. And Cleanspark is starting to do that now as well, but we need more details on them. Okay, on the bottom chart, we can see how far away they are from their 52-week highs. Obviously, IREN and Cypher both reaching their 52-week highs last week. We got Riot being only down 5.6% from its 52-week high. Bitcoin only 6.7% away from that. And you can see how far everybody else is away from that as well. Going down here to the 1 week, 4 week, 8 week, and 12 week time frames on the Bitcoin versus Bitcoin miners. We can see that last week, Cypher had a nice run up here, 44%. We don't have Bitfarms in here, but Bitfarms would have beaten them all. Bitfarms was over 60% last week. Hive was up 43% as well. BitDeer up 31%, IREN 30%, Riot 20%, CORZ 16%, Cleanspark up 12%, Marathon up 7%, Bitcoin only being up 5%. So all those guys have outperformed Bitcoin in one way or another. Strategy being actually down 1%, and Kango being down 9%. We talked about the reasons for Kango during the week, why that one's down. On the 4 week time frame, things change a little bit here. Bitcoin's only down 1% from 4 weeks ago. So we got basically all these guys over here that have outperformed. Cypher's up 70%, Hive up 51%, BitDeer up 21%, IREN up 58%, Riot up 20%, CORZ 17%, Cleanspark up 5%, Marathon's flat, and Strategy and Kango are both down 7% there. From 12 weeks ago, Bitcoin's down still 1%. And now we got Cleanspark being down 12%, Marathon down 5%, Strategy down 18%, Kango down 8%. Those have underperformed Bitcoin here, and the ones that have outperformed are Cypher, 68% along with Hive, BitDeer up 10%, IREN up nicely 92%, Riot up 9%, and Core up 15%. On a 12 week time frame, we can see things definitely changed a lot there. We can see Bitcoin's only up 8% here. The one that has underperformed the last 12 weeks is Strategy, being down 10% from 12 weeks ago. Everybody else has pretty much outperformed, or at least slightly underperformed. Kango's only down 3% or up 3% compared to Bitcoin being up 8%. Marathon's up 14%, Cleanspark's up 15%, CORZ up 34%, Riot up 66%, IREN up huge, 224%, BitDeer up only 43%, Hive up 124%, and Cypher up 186%. So Hive's growth and extension to, getting to 25 exahash by the end of the American Thanksgiving holiday, that's helping it out tremendously because the revenues are obviously increasing nicely. So that's pumping the stock up there as well. So that is it, how the stocks have performed here over the last few weeks, which is looking pretty good for us. If we look at the table down here, we can see that we are getting, last week was a great week, right? We were up nicely. The prior weeks were kind of mixed. The prior week we were down for the most part, except for Kango and Strategy being up a little bit. Other than that, prior to that, we saw also a pretty mixed bag there. We had Bitcoin being down while CORZ was up. Cypher was up nicely here. IREN was up also nicely. And we've seen those guys do pretty well over the last 4 or 5 weeks or so, being in the green here for the most part. So that's awesome to see. But we'll see how this week plays out. We obviously, like I said, Fed rate cuts are coming in on Wednesday. We'll see how the miners do. I think they're going to do well. We're seeing some action happening overnight right now where it's just pumping the miners, which is nice to see. But we'll see. Right, we might have a little bit of pullback, which wouldn't be unexpected, especially since they've had a nice run up here last week. So just be prepared for that if we do have a little pullback. Nothing major. All right, that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Tomorrow, we'll probably look at the miners to see how they did compared to each other for the month of August, since we have everybody reporting their August production as of Friday, with BitTF reporting on Friday. So we have all that data. We'll run through that. We'll look at some other things as well for the miners going forward. And yeah, we'll just cover anything else that happens during the week here. So let's get into Q&A. As always, spreadsheets are available to my Patreon members. Link for that is down in the description. There's my sales pitch. Let's get into Q&A, and we'll call it a day. All right, as always, questions. If you guys could preface those with a question mark or Q, I would appreciate it as always. And let's see what we got going on here, what you guys have to say, if anything at all. Mark says, damn you, Cleanspark, why don't they diversify? Such a good opportunity. I reported to him that they are basically, starting to get into HPCI. Mark says market needs more clarity. I agree. We need more clarity on the sites that they do have, which ones have HPCI potential. Matt has talked about the sites in Georgia, probably close to Atlanta, that are actual data centers, or at least one of them is a data center there that could be used for it. So we'll see. We obviously need more data on it, though, I think. SK question, Bitfarms is up 23 up now. What's the reason going up and up? They're getting repriced. It could be also that Riot is done selling them, so there's no selling pressure. We don't know that for a fact, but we know that Riot was down to 4.6% like 3-4 weeks ago now. So I would think that they might be done selling the shares that they had of Bitfarms there, and maybe that's what's helping the stock out there. Also, there's sites. They do have a couple sites in Pennsylvania and potentially one in Washington that they are talking about getting an HPCI deal there as well. Let me see. I can probably zoom in on this chart or this table here. Let's go over here. So we got Pennsylvania here, right? We got this site here, which is Bitfarms Panther Creek, which is 80 megawatts. That is really close to Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York, right? You got a huge metropolitan area in this area. Approximately 30 some odd million people living there. So that might be a good site for it. And they are talking about expanding this, one of the sites, I can't remember which one it is, to potential having like 1 gigawatt potential. Then you got Scrubgrass, which is a power plant, 62.5 megawatts there on the western side of Pennsylvania. And you got the Sharon as well, 120 megawatts there. So I think that in combination with potentially their site in Washington, which is a smaller site, 17.5 megawatts, because you do have some data centers as well there that are being used by like Google, not Google, Amazon and Microsoft, I believe, in that general vicinity as well. So that could be the reason why, right? I think it's just getting re-rated, repriced right now with the potential for HPCI. So lovely to see that. I'm sure you guys are happy with it. I'm still holding on to those shares right now. I did sell if you guys are new to the channel here, I did sell 2/3 of my shares in Bitfarms last year, November, December, when they were decreasing the hash rate and extending out when they're going to reach the 21 exahash for the targets. And they actually never got to 21 exahash because they moved some stuff around. But they did the right thing, I think. Yeah, concentrating more in the United States, which I believe is a good thing going forward. And right now the stock seems to be doing well also. So we'll see. But that's kind of where I think it is going up. Okay, let's see. Bevney says, undervalued, yep. Let's see. SK question, if Bitfarms gets a decent deal, can it run up to $10? Seeing that it's at $2 and something now, that would be basically 4x from here, roughly. Depending on the deal, right? How many megawatts? What's the deal? What's the revenue there for them as well? It would determine that. So I would say somewhere between $5 and $10, I think, would be probably a good price. Benny says should be around $5 USD at least. Yeah, so it's kind of I say 5 to 10. Andre Hayes said maybe you should rename your show Bit Miners who are switching to HPC AI and the rest who are costing you cash. That'd be one way to do it. Yeah, because we're definitely seeing that happening right now. Excuse me. Let's see. Sourmelon says Cleanspark is diversifying. Yep. Kaz says ERCOT seems very saturated. It does. They have a lot of players in that space right now as it is. You also have, what is that? Not Starship. What do they call it? Stargate, right? That project that Oracle is part of along with OpenAI and SoftBank. They're building out in Texas as well. There is a lot of, obviously, things happening in Texas there. Let's see. Kaz says, did people forget ERCOT almost went down due to polar vortex a few years back? Yeah, I mean, they had definitely problems back then. Hopefully those things are remedied, and hopefully we don't have another polar vortex that goes down in there. But if you're doing HPC, you probably want to do something that has some redundancies in there in case power does go out, right? You can probably fire some generators up and still continue running there. Some customers will be demanding that, if not expecting it. FireX Freak, where is Bitfarms on the list? They are not on my list because that's the list that I hold for the miners that report monthly operation updates. That's the reason why. Alim, what is going on with Bitfarms? Bitfarms is getting repriced right now to the upside, which is good. All right, let's see. FireX Freak. Bitfarms is moving a crypto coin. I don't know about that. Bitfarms is on steroids. It is doing great. Yes, it is. FireX, like a crypto coin. It's going up like a crypto coin. It does definitely seem like it. All right. Kai says, hope everyone was able to get on the Bitfarms rocket. Yeah, rocket there. I've been in that one for a long time. Right. And I'm still happy to be in it. I did buy some more shares, 2-3 weeks ago now. Added some more to it. Let's see. Artist wants his rocket, more like a comet. Okay. Okay. Why Bitfarms go up so much and good news for them, and should I buy now? I think they're getting repriced, right? We talked about this earlier. Should you buy now? I mean, do you still think they can do at least a 2x? That would be my litmus test on them. Is if I think this stock can go up 2x from here, I would possibly buy at that point. But that's your call there. All right. Firex Freaks, not sure if I should hold Bitfarms till 10 or sell before rate cut. Yeah, we might go down a little bit on the news, right? Buy the rumors, sell the news, basically. I don't know. All right, Dead's market stats. Where is Bitfarms at currently, and where can I see the pre-market move? The pre-market move, you can see that on Yahoo Finance. On that one, you can see it. It is right now 25% up in the pre-market, 25.56%. That's some either there's gonna be some news happening out there, or it's just getting nicely repriced right now. So we'll see. We'll cover it all if it happens. All right, what else we got here? It says Bitfarms is up 25% after hours to 274. What do you know about Bitfarms transatlantic fiber optics opportunity that with no other company with HBCI is talking about? The transatlantic one I believe they're talking about is the one that is that the one in Washington site, or is it Pennsylvania site that has that? I can't remember which one they mentioned it. I know Ben mentioned it. But I would think others have access to it as well. I don't know if there's much of an advantage there. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, SK, how many Bitfarms shares do you hold now? It is now, 9,100 shares, something like that? Kaz, wow, 25% now. Yeah, it's doing great. Ed, hello, Seb. We have noticed in the last 2 years that Bitcoin miners front-run Bitcoin. How do miners know that Bitcoin is going up or down? Well, it's not the miners that know about it. It's the institutions that are buying these things, right? So they will usually front run, like going into these miners, and then they'll go into Bitcoin, right? So that way they can get that a little bit more of a multiple on the miners here. So that's kind of where my thought process has always been on this, that if you see Bitcoin miners running up, you'll probably see Bitcoin also running up eventually. Sometimes they do front run it though. All right, CG, can we just agree there is no reason for the price moves? This is not a free market. It is orchestrated by powers in charge to create the most wealth for themselves. I would agree with you there. I keep saying that, right? We're just along for the ride for the most part, and we are at their mercy. See, also, I would advise you to keep politics outside your channel because Bitcoin is staying and politicians will go away. Okay? I don't really get into politics, though, do I? Do I get into politics? I don't think so. Artist one, yep, and they will catch us all with a rug pull. That is a possibility there. Let's see, cause probably massive institutional investments flowing into Bitfarms after the HCW presentation. That could be it also. But the stock was actually running up before the presentation. Let's see here. Christian, hi Seb, thanks for all you do. You're very welcome. Thanks for coming in. Greatly appreciate you guys also. SK, is it still early to buy Bitfarms or should we wait for a pullback? The way I would do it, and this is not financial advice, obviously, but as I would dollar cost average into it. See where it is right now, put in a little bit, and then continue to buy into it possibly. I don't like chasing things, but sometimes you do have to chase. I did chase IREN a little bit, but I still got in a really good price at that point last year. So I'll do it if I feel that there is something major happening in the company, right? And at that point, I will chase. But other than that, I don't like to chase. So that's up to you there. Let's see. SH Anthony and McLean Money said on Friday afternoon that the people who in IREN 3 months ago are now putting their money in Bitfarms, and Bitfarms looks like IREN a few months ago. That could be part of it, but we're not seeing that much of a selling on IREN, right? IREN continues to go up. All right, Christian, question, is there any hope for Cleanspark to turn around and make a new all-time high this cycle? All-time high from when? from the time it got to $24 or prior to becoming a Bitcoin miner. Right? So that's, I would say, getting to like $24, I think it can do that, right? Sadie likes for Sebastian, greatly appreciate that. Finally, I am green with my 150,000 of Bitfarms shares. That's awesome. You got me beat by quite a bit there on the number of shares. Congrats on that. You'll do great. Let's see here. CG, do you think we should be in some cash for Wednesday on rate news? That's going to be your call. I'm not, but that's your call there. I don't like to be in cash for the most part as it is. But yeah, we could see a little bit of pullback on the news. So I wouldn't be surprised at that point, if we do get it, buying opportunity in my opinion. Let's see, Artist 1 says 2.75 was the resistance level. Next up, 325. So we're talking about Bitfarms there, okay. Scorched Earth Actuary. Just wanted to say a big thank you to Sebastian. You are the reason I got into IREN back in April and Bitfarms about a month ago. Both have been rocketing, and my retirement is looking closer every day. That's awesome to hear. Happy to see that. Christian miners front run Bitcoin. Could one assume treasury companies to move after the miners? That I don't know. I don't track the treasury companies as closely as I do the miners. I mean, we saw Strategy last year pump much faster, much harder than the Bitcoin did, or even Bitcoin miners did. But eventually it got to a bubble and it popped, right, at 540 in November of last year. And it hasn't recouped after that. Whereas the miners have kind of been recouping at least some of the losses and are actually in some good gains now. We have miners that are in 52-week highs also. So I don't know. To be honest with you, I do not know. I don't track it well enough, I guess. Benit asks, is Clean still a buy? I would say so if you believe it's going to go at least 2x from here, which I do believe it will do that. So I think it is still a buy, but that's your call there, right? Not financial advice. Sarmelon Gaming says Bitfarms will dump big. Watch. Time will tell, I guess, right? In the meantime, it's doing great. And if the narrative for HPCI is the reason why it is pumping, it might pump some more, especially if one of these guys gets a deal or something like that. All right, let's see. Essie says, okay, transatlantic fiber optics connect Panther and Scrubgrass to Europe and Washington to Asia. It's huge opportunity for European and Asian companies to get AI connectivity in North America. Okay, yeah, that would help out, definitely. If you can get a nice connection there happening. But then you would also have other companies that could be connected there as well. You got TerraWolf that's in that area roughly. Who else is in that area? There's other ones in there also. So they're going to be benefiting from that as well. All right. Artist 1 says Bitfarms looks like the same chart from December 2020 when it went on a run. Let's take a look at that if we can go back to December 2020. Let's see, Bitfarms, where's it at? There it is. Bitfarms, let's go back to 2020 on it. Hold on while I go all the way back here. Where's December? Oh, this is, let's see. Is it on the weekly time frame or the daily time frame that you're looking at? Let me see. This is going back to 2020, December. All right, so at that point in December, let's look at it here. Here's on the weekly. We were at approximately $1.93 Monday. Let's see, let's go back here a little bit. Okay, back here. So at that point, we were at 58 cents roughly. This was the middle of December. And we went all the way to a high of $10 on it. Wow. Okay, well, if we do that, that's going to be great. And let's see if we can see the chart over here in comparison. I mean, right now, the weekly chart, we only have one. That one is now up, what is it, up 72% last week. And we're up next year. This one back here was up 109%. Okay. So maybe this is the start of something that's going to pump us up much higher. If that happens, it's going to be great. All right, let's go back here. All right, let's see. Bevneet says Bitfarms 15,000 shares at $1.80. Nice, very nice. I'm at $1.53 or something like that. I'm $1.50 something, right around there. All right. Des Market Stats says I don't chase or wait for pullbacks. I will sell puts on different strike prices with the recent move, and because I want more shares, I may have to look at $3 strike price. Okay. Christian, you're very welcome. Bevneet Seb, how do we exit Bitfarms? When do you think it runs up without a deal? Time to sell. Remember when the wolf went up to 10 and no deal, it dropped down to 5. But going off of one stock and their performance is not indicative of what's going to happen with the other stocks, especially if we do get a deal from like IREN or Cypher or something like that, that might pump them up some more. We're still probably running on the coattails of Oracle getting that $300 billion deal with OpenAI, right, where they're looking for a lot of megawatts going forward. And yeah, I just, some of these guys might actually get a deal from Oracle on it. We'll see, because Oracle needs the megawatts. Let's see. Sarah Mellon, let's see. Bitfarms' whole AI HPC operation is talk and dirt right now. They need a lot of money. They don't have to build out to be competitive. They do have a loan with, was it McGuire? I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I believe it's McGuire. They do have a loan available to them for like $300 million, but yeah, they're going to need more if they're going to do that. And hopefully if they get a deal with somebody, that somebody else can help, kind of like Wolf is getting helped as well, to be able to finance the deal there. Let's see. All right, talked about that one. Let's see. Back then, Bitcoin, I believe, doubled in December. Could you pull up Bitfarms versus BTC on December, please? Bitfarms, let me see if I can do that. Bitfarms versus BTC. Let me see if I can pull that up. Do a new pair here. BTC USD BITF. See if that works. All right, going back to December. What am I on? I'm on weekly here. December, okay, October. Maybe I'm doing this wrong, but I'm seeing this. So I'm probably doing this wrong. I'm seeing it to the downside here, actually. So this is BTC USD Bitfarms here. And we're seeing it down. So I think maybe it should have been Bitfarms / let's try that. BITF versus BTC USD. See if that works any differently. Okay, so here we go. I mean, yeah, we're seeing a huge spike there on it. That was the end of the week of Monday 28th, it looks like, in December 2020. So a huge spike there. Yeah. Don't know. I'm not a great chart reader when it comes to this stuff, especially when you're doing versus. So you guys at least see it here, and you can make your own determination at that point. Okay, Neville. Guys, Bitfarms ain't tanking like you think. Probably a correction. They're going to a deal with an enterprise customer and then a hyperscaler. Okay, that would be great. And Neville continues, at some point you have to acknowledge you're putting in more work to believe it. It'll go bust. Okay, CG, you should do a poll next time to see what year everyone bought their first miner stock. Oh, like go 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. Yeah, we could possibly do that. Bevneet, what's the penny stock miner to buy? Oh, gosh. Oh, I don't know which one. I don't track the smaller miners as much as I used to anymore because I just didn't see the growth there. And I don't know. See, Neville says they have enough money to build out the first 50 megawatt data center to lock in the deal. Yeah, that's part of the 300 million or 350 million deal with McGuire, right? Part of that. See, did you see in the new Bitcoin price targets to 1 million? I've seen a bunch of them. I don't know what time frame you're looking at, but if we get there within the next 5 to 10 years, I'll be happy with that. Doesn't have to be this year. Neville says, baby steps, my friend. Exactly. Slowly. All right. Des Market Stats. Why only 17 likes for Seb? Let's get it over to 50. That would be great. I would appreciate it if you guys did. I mean, if you guys enjoy the content, hit the like button. If not, I understand. All right. Let's see. Neville says, hyperscalers have an insatiable demand for power and thus are more willing to lock in deal at lower availability now with assumptions that it'll expand in the future. Many people have said this. I would agree with you there. Yeah. All right, Christian, what are your thoughts on IREN? Is it overhyped and needs a correction, or could it continue from here? Where do you see it could run up from here? Thanks. It's had a huge run up, right? That's not, I mean, we can't escape that part of it. Could it continue to run up here? It is possible. I mean, it's still going up in the after hours. Let's see, where's it at right now? IREN. IREN's still up another 3.21% here after hours right now. It has had a huge run up here on the weeklies that we can obviously see here ever since it bottomed out in April, basically. So it's up huge from that time frame. We can see here from where it bottomed out to where it's at right now. It's up 570% more or less. RSI is definitely overextended here a little bit on the weekly. On the monthly, it's probably overextended as well. Yep. Daily has been kind of overextended, but the thing that I love about the daily at least is it has gotten up, it has come down as well. While price was actually going up here, we did have price come down here a little bit, and then it continued to go up here while RSI continued to stay, close to 70 or go below it a little bit, but each time we continue to go up higher. So I love seeing that, but the weekly and the monthly do have me concerned. So we do need a deal from them in order for this thing to continue going forward, I think. And I think, I don't know if you guys saw the conference call that they had for the quarterly results with Dan there. He was very, very happy and all smiles when he was talking about Google and FluidStack, having a relationship with those guys there. So I don't know if that meant anything, if there's a possible deal that's going to be happening for them. But, we're seeing the stock do very, very well here. I'm going to continue to hold. Right, even if it dips down another 20-30% from where it's at right now, a small correction, that's fine. I'm willing to wait another 6, maybe even longer months until this thing gets up even higher potentially. So I think the potential is there for it to go up higher from where it is right now. Okay. I probably should have put that up on the screen for you guys while I was looking at the chart there, but nonetheless, you guys get the drift on that. All right, Josh, Bitfarms is still completely undervalued. No reason to sell at these prices. Looking at $10 plus at Washington News coming out soon with HPC. Washington actually might get something done first. Okay. Yeah, you just never know. With these guys, or any guys, or any of the miners, actually, we're always one good news story away from these things pumping like rockets. Bevneed says DMG is a small miner there. Gosh, I would have to look more into them again. I haven't done any kind of research on them probably 3 to 6 months. I have to go back and see what's going on with them. Des Market Stats says Soluna is the only miner under $1 right now. Yeah, they're only priced around like 20 some odd million market cap right now, I think. Am I wrong on that? Or has it gone up now? Tom Harrison question said, what do you think about DigiPower? DigiPower is working with a small modular reactor. I can't remember the company name there, but they're doing like a test site or something like that, I believe, with them, which is kind of interesting because I also saw Oracle state that they might have to use small modular reactors for some of their sites because they're just in such power demand that they might have to use those. So that's kind of interesting, but I don't know. All right, Ed, I wish Bitfarms to be the last to announce a deal so we can benefit from each deal signed with different miner, one pump at a time. That would be great. SK question, Hive is up 11 pre-market. What could be the reason? They're probably getting repriced as well a little bit, but they did buy a site in Toronto, I believe, right? It was like 7 point something megawatts. And then they're also getting a deal with Bell Canada, I think it is. The details on that are, some details are missing, right? So I don't know if it's going to be Hive that's going to be building out the data centers, or if the HPC AI GPUs are going to be installed in Bell Canada's data centers. I don't know about that. All right, let's see here. Aaron, question, been holding Bitfarms for 18 months. I was down 70% just months ago. My average is 320. Do you think it runs to my average this week? This week, if it keeps going like it is right now, it might. Could we get a little bit of a pullback? Possibly. But you obviously got in at a much higher price point at that point if your average is 380. You were buying, when were you buying that? Let's see, let's look back at the screen here really quick. On this one, when was the last 380? It was probably like last year, twice, right? 380. Yeah, you pretty much got at the top there in February of 2024, it looks like. Where was it? 380. Yeah. So you've definitely taken the run down here. But it is coming back up here, getting to that. Will it happen this week? I would give it some more time. I don't think it's going to happen in a week where we're going to go up another 50% here, but you never know. Right now in the after hours, where's it at? Okay, it's coming back down, and the after hours is only up 16% now instead of 25%. So we'll see where it starts out in the morning here, but it's definitely having a nice run up here recently. So I wish you all the best, and hopefully it does go up to that, because that would have some nice gains for me as well. All right, go back here. Let's see. Artist one says, I'm hoping Bitfarms 480 end of month. That would be a double basically from here. Sarmelin, so Seb, so Cleanspark won't run until they release AI updates. Seems people don't care. They're the second best BTC mining operator. Yeah, I mean, everything's been around HPC AI. With them being the second best operator for Bitcoin, that doesn't mean much. Plus, they have the third biggest HODL, right, in the miners. Mara has the most, then Riot, and then it's Cleanspark. That's not getting any kind of praise for them either. So, yeah, I think it's going to take maybe HPC AI deal, or not deal, but just some update on it as far as which direction they're going and how they're going about it, or Bitcoin price actually going up to 150,000, 200,000 later on. All right, Ed, I see people making the mistake I made last year, which is looking at the cheaper miner when you actually have to look at the fundamentals. I would agree with you there. That's a very, very good point, right? You got to know and understand what you own and what that possibility is going to be in the future. So I would agree with you there, right? Don't look at the cheaper ones. Yes, those things might pump a little bit because people might be rotating into some of the smaller ones, thinking that they can pump those up as well. But, right, how long will those last, though? Let's see. Carl says, I'm heavy in Bitfarms and wanted to add to it, but I would advise using caution right now. By end of year, I think there is a chance at $10, but placing my extra money in other miners instead. Okay? No, it's fair. Not Pedro Pascal. Happy Sunday, Seb. Happy Sunday to you. Do you have any options or investments in altcoins? I've heard that if Bitcoin goes up, all these other coins go up as well. Thanks. I do have Ethereum. I do have some Doge. And I think that's it, right? Let me see what else I have on my disclosure here really quick. What do we have? Cardano, HBAR. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. So not much after that. I'm waiting for those things to bounce back up, and I'm going to be selling them. I'm going to be out of the altcoins there completely. But yes, they could run up based on Bitcoin going up as well. Let's see. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Abhishek. I'm sorry. Based on the latest MNEV numbers, is Cleanspark the most undervalued right now? MNEV, well, it's kind of hard to do an MNEV on them because they do other operations as well. MNEV is usually used for, I believe it's only, typically used for the treasure companies like Strategy and Metaplan and all those. I don't know if I haven't applied MNEV. We could take a look at it, but I don't think so. I think actually more on the MNEV would be the lowest one. I haven't updated this here in a while on the MNEV. Let's see what we got. Let's see shares, number of shares. Let's see, that should be the most recent stuff here. Let's see here. We got Cleanspark. Total assets. Let me see. I would have to probably update some of the information from. Oh, I do have it for Q2 for some of these guys here. Do I have it for Q2? Q3. Okay. Well, I do have this here. So the MNEV value there, we can see here that, let's see here, Cleanspark is getting 1.06 based on the numbers that I have here. Marathon is getting a 109 MNEV. So yeah, based on that, I guess you could say that they're probably the lowest out of the bunch here right now, based on these numbers at least. So yeah, I would say that kind of seems fair. Let me see. Let's go back here. Okay, let's see. Talked about that one. Dylan says Bitfarms to the moon. All the miners to the moon. I'd love to see that. Kron says take profits from Bitfarms and put into Mara and Cleanspark. I would say maybe Cleanspark, not Mara so much. Mara, for whatever reason, that thing cannot, sustain a good run. Neither has Cleanspark here historically, but at least Cleanspark's trying to get into HPCI, so that's the only reason I would say maybe go into that one. But I would also maybe leave a little bit on Bitfarms. I mean, I own Bitfarms and Cleanspark there, so I'm holding on to those things, and I also own IREN and Cypher, so I'm not moving any of those things around. All right, Bevneet, I think you're buying more Cleanspark tomorrow. My average is $10. I know it's high, but maybe pick up more shares because I do think they will release some news soon regarding HPCI. Okay? Yep. Desmarket Stat says I have 1,000 in margin to use tomorrow. Bitfarms, KULR, or Open. Geez. Well, we know Bitfarms has been pumping here, so has Open recently. I'm not sure about KULR. So it's going to be your call on that one. And then let's see. Do we have any other comments coming in here? Nope. I think we're pretty much all caught up here, and we're going on. Yeah, we're doing pretty good here. I think we're going to call it a day. So we'll see what happens later on this week with the miners and Bitcoin in general. We'll see where the rate cuts come in as well. And we'll discuss it all tomorrow or this week. Tomorrow we'll discuss probably the miners, how they did it for the month of August, comparing them against each other and see which ones have done the best out of the metrics that I use for this stuff. And we'll cover that and anything else that happens. All right. But that's it. Thank you so much for coming in on this Sunday night. Greatly appreciate you guys. And I hope you guys have a great green week in Bitcoin and Bitcoin miners as well. Hopefully you guys, your pillows stuffed with cash are getting too full to hold. So really appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.